That's rubbish. Poor people are suffering on the ground. We have cases of children dying. We are told go register his spaza shop by a whole president. He doesn't have measures to deal with issues. Why is he there? Because he doesn't have a plan for this country. Yes, President for future.
Good afternoon, Sam Sakina. It's too much money, 12,000 to charge if you miss the deadline. Electricity, Soweto, the ESCOM really, to charge the meter or new box, whatever. It's out of control really. It's a rip-off, it's a daylight robbery. You cannot charge. And other things, not everybody Soweto stealing electricity, whatever. There's a lot of people who pay their account or whatever, electricity. So you must try to give them more time to prepare the people. You cannot say it's deadline that day. It's unacceptable really. At 12,000 to charge the new box, it's out of control. It's out of market. It's too much amount.
Hi Sakina, it's Chris in Pietermaritzburg. David Woods makes economic sense for a certain class of people. To us at home, we have not felt the coming down of food inflation. It is still very expensive. And remember, we look at it comparatively. Today we have to make choices between food and other necessities, school fees, stationery very soon.
President listeners, good afternoon. My name is Tulani Uramapuka must not come and tell us that they will not extend when it is the very same government that when we had expired jabs, COVID-19 jabs, when they expired, the Department of Health applied for the extension of expiry dates, which caught most of us by surprise and utter shock. But they should definitely extend should people not be fully converted or upgraded when it comes to the meters. Thank you.
Rising.
Well, lost that one, unfortunately. But thank you so much, everybody. Apologies for the ones we couldn't get to. And I see many of you asking for the number that Daphne Mokoena, the ESCOM spokesperson, shared. I will put it there on my social media pages as well, and the show's page too. So this is where we have to leave it. Thanks to the production team. Thanks, everybody. Here's Ondelambana with your news at 1.
Thank you, Sakina, and your team. Top stories at 1. 4-man found dead in Don Park, and as SADC convenes extraordinary meeting of heads of state. For SIFM News, I am Ondelambana, and a very good day. 4 men have been found dead in Dawn Park, east of Johannesburg this morning. It's believed their bodies were found next to a railway line on Hazelwood Street. Police spokesperson Dimakadzo Nebuhuli says police received a call that the bodies of 6 unknown men were dumped next to a railway. She says the men had multiple injuries on their bodies. 4 were declared dead on the scene, while 2 others were taken to a local hospital for medical attention. She says police will be investigating a case of murder and attempted murder.
The circumstances that led to this crime are unknown at this stage, and no suspects are arrested. The police request anyone who may have information that can assist with the investigation on this matter to contact their nearest police station.
Police in the Western Cape, with the help of several multidisciplinary teams, have arrested 3 foreign nationals on charges of abduction. Police spokesperson Malcolm Boyi says 3 suspects linked to the kidnapping of a 14-year-old girl a week ago are expected to appear in the Wynberg Magistrate Court today on charges of abduction.
The multidisciplinary team acted on intelligence and conducted a tracing and takedown operation which led them to a residence situated in Visagi Street in Peru, where they apprehended 2 30-year-old suspects in connection with the abduction of a 14-year-old girl who was reported as missing at Samora Machel Saps on the 13th of November this year. The 14-year-old victim was reunited with her family. Ongoing investigations led to the arrest of a 3rd suspect.
The Gauteng Education Department has given the go-ahead for tuck shops at schools to resume operations. This follows orders by the Department for tuck shops and hawkers at schools to temporarily stop operations amidst increasing food poisoning incidents in the province and across the country. On Friday, President Cyril Ramaphosa gave spaza shops 21 days to get registered. The department spokesperson, Steve Mabona, says tuck shop operators and hawkers at schools have to obtain a valid certificate of acceptability in order to operate.
Our memo was informed by a decision that was taken by Cabinet in Gauteng. And as a precautionary measure, we then decided to start with our own, that is those that are selling within our premises, and those that are within our school precinct. DBE was instructed to give clear guidelines and a framework on how we're going to be managing this program. Now with the framework which is guiding us, we then took from the framework and tabulated the regulations on how we're going to be managing this process. Hence, we have communicated with all our schools. If you comply, then you will be allowed to sell in our schools and in the precinct.
KwaZulu-Natal Premier Tami Ntuli has convened a meeting in Durban to announce the formation of a provincial council against crime. Representatives of provincial and local government, civil society, the justice system and law enforcement agencies are among those attending. Ntuli says the council form a more united front against crime.
This council must inspire new hope to the people of KwaZulu-Natal. It must inspire them to work in close cooperation with the justice and crime prevention and security cluster to thwart the advances of criminals and inspire us all to work for a peaceful KwaZulu-Natal by doing right and playing our part.
The SADC Extraordinary Summit of Heads of State and Government has kicked off in Zimbabwe, Harare. It's focusing on peace and security in the regional bloc, especially in the eastern DRC, where the regional mission has been deployed to deal with instability. SADC leaders have also looked at the recent elections in Botswana, Mozambique and Mauritius. Recently, Mozambique has seen a wave of protests due to the disputed election results. SADC Executive Secretary Elias Mahosi says it has been a busy period for the region.
The months of October and November 2024 have been a very busy period in the calendar of SADC, with 3 elections undertaken in this very short time in the republics of Mozambique, Botswana and Mauritius, and proceeding to the Republic of Namibia for the election scheduled for the 27th of this very month. Through the SADC electoral observation missions, SADC has continued to ensure that the elections in the region are held in line with the SADC principles and guidelines governing democratic elections.
Recapping the top story, 4 men have been found dead in Dawn Park, east of Johannesburg this morning. It's believed the bodies were found next to a railway line on Hazelwood Street. I am on Dilambala for SAFM News. Headlines at 1:30.
SAFM 104 to 107 nationwide. Leading the conversation.
Makoti Down Products is a proudly South African family business, started more than 30 years ago with 12 geese and a piece of material. Makoti manufactures duvets, pillows, sleeping bags, and high-quality Egyptian cotton linen. Our Down products are suitable for people with dust mite allergies and come with a lifelong guarantee. And we offer a nationwide cleaning service for all your feather and down products. Visit us at makoti.co.za or call us on 041 992 395. For quality down, Makoti Down.
Hey, want to check your TV license balance conveniently? Look no further. Our SMS service allows you to do just that. By sending a message containing your ID or TV license number to 44210, you can quickly access your balance without needing multiple inquiries or waiting on hold. Plus, standard SMS rates apply. Take advantage of this efficient method to stay informed and streamline your payment process today. T's and C's apply. The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga, Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m.
So high I did not recognize the fire burning in her eyes, the chaos that try my best to feed her appetite, keep her coming every night, so hard to keep her satisfied. Oh, kept playing love like it was just a game, pretending to feel the same, but turn around and leave again. But oh, this love has taken its toll on me. She said goodbye too many times before, and her heart is breaking in front of me, and I have no choice, 'cause I won't say goodbye anymore. Oh, oh, whoa, whoa. I'll fix these broken things, repair your broken wings, and make sure everything's alright. My pressure on your hips, sticking our fingertips to every inch of you, 'cause I know that's what you want me to do. This love has taken its toll on me. She said goodbye too many times before. Her heart is breaking in front of me, and I have no choice, 'cause I won't say goodbye anymore. This love has taken its toll on me. She said goodbye too many times before, and my heart is breaking in front of me. She said goodbye too many times before. This love has taken its toll on me. She said goodbye too many times
It is Maroon 5 coming through with This Love, and that is how we entered the show on this fine Wednesday afternoon. And this particular record helped Maroon 5 secure themselves 5 MTN Video Music Awards for Best New Artist, as well as the third most played song of 2004. There's also a live version of the song, which won Best Pop Performance by a Duo or a Group, with vocals at the 2006 Grammy Awards. It's probably undoubtedly one of their most successful songs as a group. That was Maroon 5 with This Love. It's gone 10 past 1 o'clock on the Full Circle with myself, Bridget Masinga, on SAFM. We're having ourselves a jam-packed but relatively easy show today, trying to, just recalibrate your temperament right now. I see, conversation was quite on high with Sakina this afternoon, with a lot of pressing issues that needed to be addressed with all the respective authorities. And so we thought that maybe we'll just recalibrate you a little bit so as to ease you into the afternoon. We're going to be catching up with SABC3's MasterChef Season 5 top 3 contestants. And then we also
Bridget Masinga on SAFM.
Alrighty, I told you that we are trying to just take it easy this afternoon for a whole multitude of reasons. We decided let's have a relatively light show today. And so we're beginning by touching base with SABC3's MasterChef Season 5 top 3 contestants. They're joining me in studio now, and it's been an intense and emotional semi-final for everybody who participated in MasterChef South Africa. It's down to the final stretch for our 3 home cooks now, with the final being on Saturday, this coming weekend. The ladies are going to be showcasing the very best of what they have to offer, and we've got joining us in studio Bridget Magwandi, who is the 20-year-old powerhouse who's known for her abundant dishes and impeccable plating. Chanel Brink also joins us, the air fryer queen, and perhaps after this conversation I'll get some pointers, because the air fryer is still deving me. So hopefully after this, I'll be able to also whip up some unique treats with some kind of flair. And Nabila Shamsham, who's joining us, who's a multicultural background, or rather whose multicultural background has inspired a lot of her dishes that are filled with love and appreciation. I hope everyone's doing well. By the way, is it just by coincidence that everyone's wearing black? What's that about?
It is. It's just a coincidence.
Okay. It's the inner chef. That's why I was like, oh, let's wear a color that just we fade into the background. Just, it's the inner chef. You're doing good. Maybe let me start with you, Chanel. You doing good? I mean, after the season, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good overall. Nervous for the challenge coming up on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what to expect. I know there's probably going to be one of the toughest challenges I've ever had in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But looking forward to it.
Yeah? Okay, let's gauge your state of mind. Nabila, for you?
More or less the same. I think we're all on the same page. We're nervous. We're wanting to obviously do our best. We don't know what to expect, but just want to give it our all.
Okay. All right. Bridget?
Happy to be part of the finalists,
Yeah.
of course. And yeah, the nerves on high, but it's important to remain calm, and that's all one can do in these type of situations.
Yeah. Remain calm.
Remain calm.
I mean, is that possible? I watch a lot of these like cooking reality, competitions, and MasterChef being one of the best out there. It seems to me like it's a frantic space to be in.
Yeah, on the kitchen, yes,
Yeah.
it's frantic, but in terms of your mental space and before you're entering the kitchen, it's okay to be calm, and then once you're there, it's okay to just everything, and then you can calm down afterwards.
Really?
Again. Yeah, or at least that's what I do.
What a wowza. Is there room to plan? I've always wondered this. Is there room to plan? Like when you get in there and you're doing like those mystery challenges and you got 45 minutes on the clock. It takes me 45 minutes just to decide what protein I want to cook on any random day. So how are you planning on the spot?
You literally are planning on the spot, because you only know the challenge when the judges literally tell you this is the challenge. So you can't even go in with any preconceived recipes. You literally just have to, with whatever ingredients you are given, if it's a mystery box, basically just figure it out at that time.
Yeah. So does this then mean if you, because sometimes you watch MasterChef and people go, I'm not familiar with that ingredient. So does that mean that when you go into a show like MasterChef, when you decide that I want to enter MasterChef next year, should you then be literally cooking everything under the sun for the year leading up to you potentially being on that show?
I guess it would be advised, but there's only until a certain point that you know that you're in the show, obviously after applying, and for that period of time it's kind of, you're in between here and there, so whether or not you need to prepare, you don't really have that space to actually, explore. It's when you're on set and you have the ingredient, you can basically use your own formula. I mean, there is the matter of like fat, acid, salt, heat, and just using that formula to create something, recognizing the ingredient is generally how you can create something out of it.
Oh, there's a formula to cooking?
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
We live and learn every day.
If it's too salty, you add a little something else into it. And I guess, there is intuition in that, but also there is, standard, I guess, formula as to how things work.
Really? Okay, give us a little cheat sheet for those of us who are not like, because in my personal opinion, I feel as though everyone who enters, particularly MasterChef, doesn't matter which one you're watching, South African, Australian, doesn't matter. I feel like people who enter MasterChef are 2 notches away from being in culinary school, or something derailed them from being in culinary school, but you know, there was no other option for them but to cook and to ultimately become chefs. It's not a Bridget who's just a decent cook entering, because the caliber and the standard is completely crazy.
I think a large part of it, just personally, I don't know what the others would say, is an eagerness and a willingness to learn and to basically be a sponge when it comes to that category of your life. Because for most people, food is just, you know, I need to eat because, you know, I need to survive. Or it's a matter of I enjoy certain foods, so I like to go to certain places that sell them.
Yeah.
But when it comes to cooking, it's like you have this eagerness to understand what the ingredients are, where they come from, and why they actually combine. So it's, I guess, a slight difference in your mentality.
Would you agree?
Definitely. The mentality definitely matters. You need to be receptive to learning anything, even on the spot, because you're going to be faced with an ingredient you don't know. And you need to relate it, taste it, of course, to know, okay, what acidity does this veggie have, for example? Okay, it's similar to this. What can I do with it? And that's how you can somewhat build it. At least that's how I was able to do it, because there were some things I didn't know of, but they had similarities to the things you use in your everyday kitchen. And then from there, you can just build a nice dish.
Yeah. I mean, listen, at 20, are you amongst one of the younger contestants?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Listen, I know 20 is in the kitchen, you know, you could be the equivalent of a 60-year-old Italian gogo who's cooked everything under the sun. So I'm not even judging the age, because I saw the apprehension in her eyes, like, why are you asking about my age? Just wondering.
Not even.
Just wondering if you were amongst the youngest. And does that sort of put a different kind of pressure on you when you're cooking with people that are a little bit older than you?
It does put pressure. As a human being, you know that other people have more experience than you in any kind of job. But I think it was a thing of, for me, it was a way for me to be more creative as well, because I knew that there are certain things that some people have just never tried or whatever it is, and there's that creativity and ideas, that combining dishes that I really loved doing a lot on the show. I'm sure you guys saw a lot of that. So I really enjoyed showcasing a lot of that. And also because it gives me peace to know that, you know what, I'm making a record however far I'm going anyways.
Yeah.
So either or, it's okay.
Either or, it's okay. Chanel, for you, madam, I mean, is cooking just the innate thing? Sort of going back to my point about people who enter MasterChef are a step above the rest of us. And I'm a pretty decent cook.
I think for me, I am the quintessential home cook. I mean, I won the air fry challenge, so clearly I air fry quite a bit. But also I think, like, if you have a passion for food, even if you are a home cook, you're always going to be curious about maybe trends going on in the food industry, catching up with different types of ingredients. So I think that if you are someone that's entering the show, you need to really have a passion and interest in food. You need to have a love for it, and you need to be willing to also take criticism really well, because the judges, you're going to get some harsh criticism, but at the same time, it basically helps you to get to the next level as well.
Yeah. Sorry, my attention's also going to my producers on the other side of this. 6 pairs of eyes, but oftentimes they cast down. Let's talk about your resilience in the competition, because it demands a lot. It's a high-pressured environment, and there's a lot at stake.
There is a lot, and there's so much going on around you, especially when we started off as 20 contestants. It's a lot of chaos in the kitchen. Everybody running for ingredients, everybody running for appliances. And amongst all of that chaos, you have to figure out what dish you are making. You've got to really focus, concentrate on what you're doing to make sure that you don't leave out anything, and make sure that your dish ticks all of those boxes. And if you get... I feel like for me, if I had to get really flustered, I would have probably cracked and crumbled. And I think that making it this far is because I was able to remain so calm in the competition.
I mean, you strike me like a very calm individual. You can tell TV people when they come to radio, they don't understand that radio, we have to move like mice, not quite like television stomping around. Nabila, talk to me about your culture and the influence that it's had, because that's like your unique selling proposition.
Yeah, well, my mother's Afrikaans and my father's Arabic. So from the perspective of being a South African, I wasn't necessarily dunked into the world of SA food, but I did have some familiarity with the food that my mom cooked. And in terms of my dad, it was this whole entire world of, the Middle East being opened up. So it definitely brought a curiosity for, different countries, different cultures, and, the different culinary backgrounds that they have. And I think it opened up the world of creativity in me actually applying that in the kitchen.
Wonderful. At 20 years old, is the kitchen where you want to end up?
The kitchen where I want to end.
Ultimate dream? What's the ultimate dream?
Ultimate dream wise, I definitely, if I was to win, there's the goals I have in terms of branding and stuff. But I would love the kitchen and me cooking to stay a passion outside of a business. I really wanted to stay something that is true to myself and to show beauty in that and to make people happy with that. So that's definitely what I would want in terms of me being in the kitchen, yes.
So you don't necessarily want to be a chef or a restaurateur. She chose the polite way of saying, essentially, I'm not going to wear an apron or a white coat.
Oh, of course I would, but I wanted to stay a passion. Pop-ups, those type of things is what I would do, not every day having a restaurant.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Yes. Okay, pop-ups and things. Let me gauge from you ladies, because, you have a different sort of relationship to food versus the rest of us. You explore, you experiment, you go to places that we don't go. How would you gauge South Africa's palate? Like, what would be South Africa's culinary palate? Are we adventurous or are we a bit more conservative?
I think that we are starting to be a lot more adventurous compared to maybe a few years ago. If you look at a lot of the restaurants in South Africa, it's quite vast and wide now. Like, you can find Turkish food, you can find Ethiopian food, and I think we're really starting to explore. But I feel it's also to a certain extent because if you look at a lot of the menus, if you go to one of these restaurants, it's almost adapted to our palate.
Yes.
So it would be a deviation from the original dish to suit our palates.
So I'm glad you said that, because when you travel and you start eating food in those respective countries, you realize just how much flavor some food has here in South Africa versus when it's in its authentic environment.
It's very true.
Okay, all right. For you, Nabila, like, where are we on a scale of 1 to 10? Are we?
In terms of scaling it, I'm not entirely sure if I could do that accurately. I'm not someone who goes out too much and, tries out different restaurants. Chanel and Bridget are definitely your go-tos for that. But from what I've just observed over the years, even in terms of the kind of ingredients that you can now find in stores, I think that there is an introduction to, opening the world up, and I think it's partly because of tourism. We definitely, due to media as well, we're starting to branch out of our comfort zones and starting to experiment more. So maybe I'd give it like a 6 going on a 7.
Love it. And as we wrap it up, Bridget, give us a recommendation for Joburg-based folks. Where are we eating? It's okay. It's to your palate, so
there's so many places in Joburg that offers. Pick one. Okay, like name drop.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, I would say most recently, being in Joburg for the last, month or so, I tried the most delicious curry and I enjoyed it because I love an authentic curry. And I was watching one of those reviews and stuff on TikTok. It was down in Sandton, the Spice Kitchen. So that I will be trying again, I would say. Besides that, there's so many other restaurants, fine dining restaurants that definitely you will be very pleased if you try them out.
Absolutely. Okay, I like a good curry myself. I'm a Durban girl. So So I'll take that recommendation. Ladies, all the very best of luck come this weekend. Sitting somewhere here is MasterChef Season 5's winner, and we'll be watching with eager eyes. Congratulations on being a part of this journey, and we wish you nothing but the very best for your future. That was Bridget, Chanel, and Nabila joining us. It's just gone 1:30. We're going to take a pause for the headline news, and then we'll come back on the other side with Sabelo Soko.
Thank you, Bridget. In the news headlines, a man has been sentenced to life imprisonment by the Cape Town Regional Court for trafficking an orphaned child from the Eastern Cape to the Western Cape and keeping her as a wife. 4 men have been found dead in Dawn Park, east of Johannesburg this morning. It's believed their bodies were found next to a railway line on Hazelwood Street. And the United States plans to provide Ukraine with anti-personnel landmines to tackle advances by Russian troops, particularly in the east. A full update follows the top of the hour.
The SAFM playwriting competition is back. After receiving hundreds of entries last year from South African writers of different ages and ethnic groups sharing their stories, now the time is yours. It's your story. You decide. SAFM invites all writers to explore the medium of sound, the theatre of the mind, and to create a 1-hour radio play in English. Get writing now and submit your play before the 3rd of February 2025 for a chance to win one of 3 large cash prizes. For more information, visit safm.co.za. SAFM, leading the conversations that move us.
You're listening to Bridget Masinga on SAFM.
Alrighty, as the conversation continues here, we are getting into stages, pages, screens, and more. And we're catching up with poet Sabelo Soko, who's facilitating a youth development workshop that's titled Lessons from Imfunda Makwela in Soweto. I've never come across that word before, but yet again, my vernacular can be dodgy at the best of times. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Yourself?
I'm great, thank you. Okay, I've actually never come across, well, at least in my sort of just social speaking.
Yeah.
Imfunda Makwela meaning?
Imfunda Makwela, loosely it means an amateur or a novice or a person who's starting out. Right, but just like any other word in our languages, it's a suitcase on its own. It's something that you can open, and then it just gives you all of these beautiful petals. You know, so Imfunda Makwela, how the term comes about, it's for a person who's starting out. So in the countryside where boys herd cows, they will be told that you need a whistle. You need to be able to whistle, ikwela, to be able to communicate with the cows. And then if you are still young and unable to whistle, you would be told that hambe manzini amile, right? So a standing body of water, there you will find, they're called whirligig beetles in English. Right, so they live on top of the water. You're supposed to catch one, put it on your tongue, and then it's supposed to teach you how to whistle. So it's a thing that's there in the countryside. I think anybody that grew up in the rurals, they know that thing. Interesting enough, when we did the first workshop on Saturday in Soweto, there were ladies who said that there is a women version of the story where they grew up, they were told that if they took it and placed it on their chests, it would actually let the breast grow. So with the boys being able to catch this thing, put it on their tongue, then it is said Imfunda Makwela because it teaches you how to whistle. But then it gets adapted and used in the language as igama for a person who's starting out, or a novice, as I say, or an amateur.
Yeah.
So how I adopt the term and it becomes something that I move with. There's a project that I released in 2017 that was titled Umkhondo. So Umkhondo becomes an exercise of me trying to get back to my mother tongue. Basically, after being tired of telling people that, no, I can't do Zulu poems because I went to a multiracial school. So I gave myself time between 2015 and 2017 to basically just try and get back to the basics of the language. The result of that was a project titled Umkhondo, which is basically an audio project, poems, and then there are also in a literary format. The book, there's a guy that I got in, his name is Shongwe, who is a linguist, yesiZulu. He basically went through the work, did the editing, and then he wrote the foreword for me. So in writing the foreword, mind you, I'm 15 years in at that time, doing what I'm doing. I have traveled, I've gone out of the country, but I'm working with isiZulu throughout for the very first time. So Zoza goes through the work and then he writes the foreword and he says, Mabandla kamjokane kandaba, nansi insizwe seseyimfunda makhwela ithi idubukele. So I'm like, Zoza, how am I amateur now? You know? But then again, I respect this man. I'm like, okay, instead of arguing with this guy, let me go back and try and find the etymology of the term. Why is Imfunda Makwela called Imfunda Makwela? Why is a person starting out called Imfunda Makwela? Then this briefcase that I'm talking about opens up. So the first point of coming in becomes the knowledge of the fact that boys in the countryside would be told that catch it, put it on your tongue, you'll learn to whistle. Then the poet in me then wants to kind of figure out, how does that really work? It takes me back to the etymology of the insect, where you find that the insect is designed with 4 eyes, right? So 2 of the eyes are able to see above the water, 2 are able to see below the water. Ekasi, when you have got 4 eyes, you are aware, you know things, right? So that becomes the first chapter of the workshop. We basically work with that self-awareness. And then the more you dig into Imfunda Makwela with this willy gig beetle, you find that it has got a bubble-like backpack type of a thing on its back, which it's able to trap air in case it needs to dive under the water for the sake of getting food or whatever the reason could be. So then that becomes this kupsomoya, which translates to financial planning, being able to weather the storms, being able to go under if there is a need for that. And then you find that when it moves, it never ever moves slow. It's always quick. It whirls around the water all the time. So then we take that, we say the concept is iyashesha, which means it's self-reliant. It does not wait for handouts or whatever the situation is. And then again, the more you dig into Imfunda Makwela, you find that you never ever find it alone. It's always around its kind. They are always in a clump form, but they never ever bump into each other. As quick as they move, they never ever ever bump into each other. So that goes into the concept of Ubuntu. And another interesting thing about that structure and the community is the fact that the way they live, the strongest of the willy gig beetles are always found outside the group. The old ones, the young ones, including their female, are always within the group. And another interesting thing is that within the group, any one of them that is hungry, they are not supposed to look for food within the group. They have to go outside of the group to try and get food and then come back. So it becomes an interesting thing which ties into the project that I've been working on since 2012, which then culminates to this workshop.
Yeah,
basically that's that.
I mean, listen, I appreciate, because you've drawn us quite the broad sort of picture with the different layers of how you've unpacked this. And it's very interesting as well. And I was going to ask you about, the emphasis on these themes of self-awareness, basic financial planning, self-reliance, and Ubuntu. And I love how clearly this tiny little beetle has had quite the impact in your personal and professional life.
Yeah, it has. It has. It definitely has. Because I think, as I'm saying that, we worked on this, it came out in 2017, and then the process after 2017, COVID happens in 2020. I am already carrying this information. It's something that I'm playing around with. I've been in Joburg since 2003, living off words, the arts and whatnot. And then when the shutdown happens, for the first time, you are like, what am I going to do? And Imfunda Makwela then pops up, where the question is, what would Imfunda Makwela do in this situation? You then find that the beetle itself can live on top of the water, under the water. One thing that I didn't mention, it also has wings, which means it can fly. When the water dries out, it relies on the wings to fly and go get a place wherever it can find impilo. So that almost became like a driving thing for me from 2020, just weathering that situation that we faced as a world. And I think it became important because there's a project that comes out which is titled Spin Vanek, which means do not rob yourself. So it's all tied up. It becomes part and parcel of that. And how it's playing itself out now, it's basically the last part of the entire project, the Spin Vanek project, which is the workshops, basically taking the work outside of saying it's poems, it's us crying sometimes, because poems normally come out like that. But to say there is also this, let's look at ourselves and know ourselves within some of these things that the fringes are writing, you know, because that's where the art really exists as far as this country is concerned. So luckily enough, when we worked on it, I submitted with the National Arts Council, and which is how we are able to basically do these workshops that we are doing now.
Yeah. I mean, fabulous, and I think poetry doesn't get the kind of respect it should deserve as a oral and literature art form. And so to bring this workshop to the youth of Soweto, tell me about, I mean, you said you've held one already, but you're not quite wrapped. What has been the response from those participating in the workshop? And of course, for them, what has been their takeaway from the information that you're imparting?
I think one thing that became clear after Saturday is the fact that one day is not enough. Because the first chapter is you are talking about poetry and oral tradition and who we are, basically. The first chapter, which is the self-awareness chapter, Zazi, there is an exercise there where we attempt to... the idea is for everybody that's attending the workshop to come out with this bong of their own. ngingusabelo kasoke indodana kaMandaba engenandaba udaba ukhefuza izindaba, you know, and so the idea is really to try and dig deep to say, who are you, who are the people you look up to, and right. So you find that exercise, being in a city, which is Joburg, right, you find that half of the time when you talk is a bong, including is a tagazelo, the kids who are growing up now, they do not know whether we are coming or going. And I think working on this, you then notice the importance of at least knowing yourself, whether it is for yourself or it's for that self pick-me-up type of a thing in case the world is sitting on you. Because Zibongo are able to do that. So there was a lot of positive response as far as that is concerned, because a whole lot of people, they would hear this and it sounds like a far-fetched thing. And when you say, but this is a form that we have always had as a people. Growing up in Mpumalanga, one of the first things that you would be asked when you introduce yourself, you would be asked, and then you should be able to at least lander yourself from you know. And then the other part became the part about the self-worth, which is the basic introduction to basic financial planning. Because half of the time, young people would tell you, no, this budgeting thing, it's something that mama does, you know. Yet at the same time, we are told by people who work in finance that you need to start instilling these money ideas from as young as possible. So you find that it becomes an important and a big shift in these young ones, when you are like, but if you are buying airtime and if you are buying cheppies, maskopas, you know, there is something that you are spending, which it might not be on the level of rent, impupu, and paying the bond, but we are able to now start understanding to say, if I'm getting 5 rand a carry and I split it up this way because it's 25 rand at the end of the week, now you are already working with this thing. By the time you get to teenage years, early 20s, it is fully within you. So there was a lot of that, because there were parents also. It wasn't just young people who were there. Where it then came back to say, it is too short, the day is too short, it feels like it's something that should be a continuous thing. That puts umoya esikhuphini semfunda makhwela, if I am to call myself that, to say, let's keep going because it's important.
Fabulous. So just by way of details for the final stretch, the last lap of the round, where do people go? Because you're out in Soweto. But where specifically are you hosting the event?
We did Soweto already. Soweto,
so
we were, this was this past Saturday. Urban Farm in Zola. And then this Saturday, the 23rd, we are in Tsakane.
All right.
A venue called Black Diamond Events Park. It's basically a place that is popular in Tsakane. It's close to where taxis actually change. Black Diamond Events Park. We are starting from 11 o'clock till 4. We've got performances from Makafula Vilagazi, Flo Mukale, Mo Africa wa Mogati. There is Sive Joy, and there is Miss Lee. Like I said, we are starting at 11 till 4, 5. And then the very last workshop is happening back at home, where I come from in Mpumalanga, in Mkondo. That one is happening on the 7th of December. For any of this information that I'm mentioning, we've got a page on Facebook, which is Lessons from Imfunda Makwela. And then on Instagram, it is Imfunda Makwela. That's where you would be able to get the actual full-on nitty-gritties of where and how.
Fabulous. Well, listen, it's been a pleasure, and we appreciate the history of this tiny little beetle and the impact that it's had, and obviously its ability also to be used metaphorically. I know a lot of scientists are probably going to pick up on our WhatsApp and start telling us a bit more about this tiny little thing. Lessons from Imfunda Makwela is happening. So Tsakani is this coming weekend, and then the 7th of December it's wrapping up in Mkondo in Mpumalanga. And as you heard from Usabelo, Facebook is where you can go. Just Google them as well as Instagram, and you'll be able to find the respective handles so that you can get all of those pertinent details. Sabelo Soko, thank you so much for the time. He is a poet and a facilitator. 061-410-4107 is our WhatsApp line. Remember, we're asking you to send through your date of birth as well as your star sign if you want to be in conversation today with Linda Shaw. It's been quite a while. I think it's the first time this year that we are having readings on the show, so it might be a lovely way for you to wrap up the year just to get some context, especially with the planet Pluto that just yesterday began its next 20-year cycle. So it should have some impact if you believe in zodiac signs and how all of that aligns. Let's take a quick pause and then we'll come right back.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable for you. Whether it's a civil, criminal, or labor-related matter, we have a nationwide panel of attorneys standing by to assist you. SMS SAFM to 32195. That's SAFM to 32195 and we'll call you back. Clientele General is a licensed non-life insurer and an authorized FSP. Standard rates and terms and conditions apply.
Weeknights on S3 are anything but ordinary. BBC Primetime brings you the best of British television from 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. With crime boss the Dean behind bars, the outlaws are moving on with their lives until one of their own returns with a deadly secret, hurling them back into mortal danger. Outlaws Season 3, Fridays at 9 p.m. Then, 3 fishing fanatics embark on the ultimate extreme fishing trip to attempt to catch some of the most elusive, hard-to-catch fish across the globe. Fishing Impossible, Fridays at 10 p.m. Channel your best entertainment with BBC Primetime, only on S3. Open up. S3.
The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga, Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m.
All right, we are catching up now with Marketing Director at McDonald's SA, Sichaba Mutsielwa, and we're looking at World Children's Month, and it's the biggest fundraising event for the Ronald McDonald House, South Africa Helping Hands, and Helping Hands really are a symbol of how RMHC South Africa programs are able to continue to provide much needed services. So let's catch up with Sichaba and find out everything that's on the agenda at the Ronald McDonald House Charities. How are you doing today?
Bridget, I'm very well. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. For those who might not be familiar, give us some context around RMHC.
Yeah, thank you. Ronald McDonald's House Charities is McDonald's charity of choice. They provide care and comfort for families around the world. In South Africa, they have got two major projects. On top of the Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital, we've got a house, and in that house, we are able to house families whose children are in hospital there for an extended period of time. That is done free of charge by volunteers, and as well as the funds that we collect from the restaurant, and we can talk a little bit more about that, as well as Chris Baragona Hospital. We do have rooms there that also give a comfortable space for families to come through. So RMHC is that charity that is supported by McDonald's, so of course, through the funds that we get from our customers.
Talk to us about, how some, for folks who, and I use the word fortunate because you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you are having to seek prolonged help from any of these institutions, because then it means you are dealing with a rather severe and detrimental diagnosis. So for those folks who are fortunate enough not to have engaged, for instance, with a Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital, paint us a picture as to, the support that the house provides. Because I know there are a lot of people, for instance, we were there for Nelson Mandela Day, and we met a very young, cheeky, sassy patient of the hospital at 12 years old who's really called the hospital his second home since the age of 6. And his family having to come up and down from Mpumalanga almost every week for his treatment. Give us a picture of how the house provides a structure and support, for families like that who have to come in and seek that kind of assistance from the hospital.
I think it's so important that, today it's World Children's Day. That's why we are highlighting the type of efforts that is given to children. When you have a child that's sick, whether it's surgery or anything that is quite key, we do have the facilities where they come with their family. It could be a mom and a dad, or the structure that supports them. And from that structure that supports them, we are then able to accommodate them for free in the rooms that are at the hospital. In the rooms, they are able to get obviously free sleeping. They are able to get water, the food, and all the comforts that allows a parent at the lowest point of need to be closest to their child. Their child. The volunteers that you have got there, some of them are parents who would have gone through such an experience and actually want to give back, to say this house, this home, this charity was able to give back to me, and I'm giving back to the charity, so that mothers or parents don't go through those traumatic experiences by themselves. And Ronald McDonald's House Charities is able to do that, as I said, through the fundraising that we do in the restaurant, whether it's the donation of the 5 rand that you have an option when you're buying a meal, or through the 10 rand hands that we sell during the month of November to raise funds, or donations that people can make directly to RMHC. But more importantly, for every Happy Meal that we sell, a portion of that money goes directly to RMHC.
Oh, really? Tell us more about that. Because I was about to say, as you were asking about, I thought in my mind, I'm going, well, I eat a lot of McNuggets, and I don't remember ever being asked if I want to contribute a little something. So a portion of the Happy Meals all go towards our RMHC.
Indeed, and we are grateful to not only the restaurants, but the owner-operators that run their own restaurants that also are able to fully participate in ensuring that the sales from their Happy Meals can be taken directly and taken to the charity, and each and every Happy Meal that we sell. And that's how it goes through. That's why I said we are very grateful to the support that we get from the customers over and above the direct initiatives that we do to say in the pricing of the Happy Meals. Really, it is the customer's money that goes there. That's why it's important for us to be talking about Ronald McDonald's House Charities today, so that in a tangible way, customers now become aware of how they are making a difference, even though they may not be aware. But of course, Bridget, after this call, they will be aware that they have been making a difference to make it possible for families to have this type of service to them.
And I think I can appreciate the fact as well that, your customer demographic that really are the ones ordering those little Happy Meals are little children themselves. And so just the importance also of the little kids knowing that, they are helping their fellow little friends out there to get medical resource.
I think for parents, I do encourage, as you just said, for them to translate this message to the little ones so that they do have an appreciation that there are little acts that they are part of through their parents as they buy them the Happy Meals. It's not just about the full experience of the play places or the birthday parties or the toys, but there is actually something that contributes to the community that they are part of. So for parents that are listening, please relay the message and appreciation of what your kids are part of. And this is how you build social conscious children, so that in the end, they are able to fully support the communities beyond just their own families.
Absolutely. I have to take a little chuckle, though, at the thought as well, because we also know how manipulative little ones can be. So when they're negotiating those Friday McD's runs, they definitely are going to use this as a point of convincing mom and dad to say, but it's for the greater good.
I think it is important to show that they have got this social consciousness as they are young, that they are able to be aware of the need to be contributors to society.
Absolutely. And let's talk about the significance of, World Children's Month. And for you, November, as you say, is really when you really amplify, your year-long efforts. And there's many ways for folks to be involved with some of your initiatives, including getting involved with Helping Hands.
Yes, indeed. We are a very young continent. South Africa has got a very young population. And if you truly believe that the future is in the hands of the young, it's how do we make sure that we highlight the plight of the young, not just when things are going well, but also in the holistic understanding what they do. So giving a whole month focus on children and the needs of the children, as well as their hopes and their dreams, does indeed talk to being a community builder, being able to be where the children are. So it's important to always highlight that. So when you go to the McDonald's restaurants in the month of November, you see those hands with very special messages that people put on the hands just to remind themselves and other customers that children do matter. As I'm speaking to you now, I'm at the McDonald's Auckland, in Auckland Park, where we are doing an activation just to once again amplify all the work that you are doing under Together Mzansi and all the other initiatives. But it is about truly supporting children and children initiatives. And as we have just highlighted to parents, they can proudly, having had their favorite McDonald's Happy Meal taste to the children, did you know that part of the money that we have just paid is going to go straight to Donald McDonald's House Charities that is supporting families that are supporting their children.
Wonderful. Well, Sichaba, thank you so much for touching base with us and all the work that you do in supporting the efforts at the Nelson Mandela Hospital, as well as Chris Hani Baragwanath. And I'm told next year the brand celebrates 30 years, and I know you always go big. So when you go big, don't forget that we are just around the corner and invite us for that party. We'll be there.
Definitely, and thank you so much for supporting this initiative. It is through these voices and the platform that you have, Bridget, that we are able to get everybody engaged in South Africa. As we say, no DNA, just RSA.
There we go. That was a marketing director at MACD's SA, Sichaba Motsielwa. Of course, today, this month is World Children's Month, so you can go out and support your favorite child-focused charity or NGO to ensure that they continue to do the much necessary work that NGOs and charities do, especially given all the challenges that we face in South Africa. 061 410 4107, that is our WhatsApp line. 086 000 2032, that is the number that you can call us on. Linda Shaw is going to be joining us on the other side of 2 o'clock, so you can send through your date of birth as well as your star sign if you would like to communicate with Linda, and then she will take it from there.
Here, there, and everywhere. SAFM 104.3 FM in Rustenburg.
Top stories at 2 court sentences a man to life imprisonment for trafficking, and Home Affairs dismisses 18 of its officials. For SAFM News, I am Onde Lambana, and a very good day. A man has been sentenced to life imprisonment by the Cape Town Regional Court for trafficking an orphaned child from the Eastern Cape to the Western Cape and keeping her as his wife. The Western Cape NPA spokesperson, Eric Ndabazalila, says the child trafficker and child rapist Ayanda Wellington Velem repeatedly raped the child. Ndabazalila says Velem was found guilty of trafficking in persons of sexual purposes, rape, failure to comply with the requirements of a valid customary marriage, and for assault. He says the girl was kidnapped and forced into marriage in May 2012.
The ordeal for the 16-year-old minor from Namakwe started when she was approached by a woman in May 2012 who asked her if she was interested in getting married to a young woman. At the time, she was at primary school, an orphan, and staying with her grandmother. She was first trafficked to Queenstown, where the rape was started by a 45-year-old man who was introduced to her as his husband. She was later trafficked to Cape Town, where the rapes continued. She managed to contact her uncle, who was in Cape Town, and relate what had happened to her, and they later opened a case against the accused and 3 women, with the state charged together with the accused.
The case against alleged underworld gang boss Jerome Boysen and several others has been postponed until Monday in the High Court in Cape Town. This after accused number 13 Ishmael Cupido could not in Dawn Park, east of Johannesburg this morning. It's believed their bodies were found next to a railway line on Hazelwood Street. Police spokesperson Demakadzo Nebuhuli says police received a call that the bodies of 6 unknown men were dumped next to a railway. She says the men had multiple injuries on their bodies. 4 were declared dead on the scene, while 2 others were taken to a local hospital for medical attention. She says police will be investigating a case of murder and attempted murder.
The circumstances that led to this crime are unknown at this stage, and no suspects are arrested. The police request anyone who may have information that can assist with the investigation on this matter to contact their nearest police station.
18 Home Affairs officials have been dismissed for various offences, including fraud, corruption and sexual harassment. Home Affairs Minister Leon Schreiber says another 4 officials were issued with the written warnings, 2 of which carry salary suspensions.
The dismissal and disciplining of errant officials are the result of the further intensification of the department's clampdown on corruption, fraud and maladministration. The dismissals follow a series of convictions and reflects the intensification of cooperation between the Department of Home Affairs, the Special Investigating Unit and the Hawks. Where prosecutable offences have been committed, the dockets will be referred for criminal prosecution. These dismissals send a clear and unambiguous message that the days where acts of fraud and corruption are committed with impunity against Home Affairs are over. Dismissals and prosecutions are set to continue ramping up until we have squeezed crime and corruption out of this system.
The United States plans to provide Ukraine with anti-personnel landmines to tackle advances by Russian troops, particularly in the east. U.S. officials said they were for use on Ukrainians' territory, and Kyiv had committed to not using them in populated areas. Kyle Stacey, an advisor to the Biden administration on Ukraine policy, explains the shift in strategy.
Biden will, now that he's contemplating in the mirror where he stands in historical terms, we're saying, one of the ways to live down the Afghan debacle is to really give Ukraine everything it needs to make such a significant shift on the battlefield pre-Trump that it might even effectively end up being as the beginning of the end of the conflict.
Recapping the top story, a man has been sentenced to life imprisonment by the Cape Town Regional Court for trafficking an orphaned child from the Eastern Cape to the Western Cape and keeping her as his wife. I am Onde Lambana for SAFM News. Headlines at 2:30.
SAFM 104 to 107 nationwide. Hey, want to check your TV license balance conveniently? Look no further. Our SMS service allows you to do just that. By sending a message containing your ID or TV license number to 44210, you can quickly access your balance without needing multiple inquiries or waiting on hold. Plus, standard SMS rates apply. Take advantage of this efficient method to stay informed and streamline your payment process today. T's and C's apply.
Think bigger than just a banking partner. Think a team of specialized experts supporting you to make better financial decisions to enable your growth aspirations. Think a strategic partnership providing indispensable advice to help you make the right moves. Think bigger. Think Nedbank Commercial Banking. For more information, visit nedbank.co.za. See money differently. Nedbank. We're a licensed FSP and registered credit provider.
Imagine a South Africa where every child born today and tomorrow and the next day and the next had enough love, enough food, enough safety and brain power today and tomorrow and the next day and the next. Together, we will change their future. Join us by visiting
holdmyhand.org.za. That's holdmyhand.org.za.
The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga, Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m.
Broken into pieces of blood. It remains numb throughout the hailstorms from constant poundings and a stream of heckles. I can't feel you next to me while eating on the same plate as we choke on words we wish to speak. The truth floats, invisible but visible above us, and is overshadowed by a loud cutlery and a participating unwillingness to compromise. I am alone in a room full of people, and I want to be free. We are a sad and broken tale from an old book of dreams, and I want to be free. I said I want to be can
Bridget Masinga on SAFM.
The Gunners of London are gunning for victory in their own backyard when they tackle Nottingham Forest.
He's done well, Martinelli. Chance for Arsenal here. Martinelli scores!
But the Tricky Trees refuse to remove their foot off the pedal as they navigate a way to the top 5.
And headed in! It's a goal for Forest, and it's Murillo!
This is the Premier League. Catch the incredible encounter between Arsenal FC and Nottingham Forest FC on Saturday, 23 November at 4:30 p.m. live on SABC3. Also available everywhere for everyone, always on SABC Plus and SABCSport.com. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport. For the love of the game.
Ever tried to paint a wall with only a brush? Or hung a picture on just a nail and a prayer? The contestants on My Design Rules will be the first to tell you good design starts with the right tools. Tune in to My Design Rules every Sunday at 7 p.m. on SABC3 and stand a chance to win a weekend away in the winning apartment. From beginner projects to expert builds, Buco has the tools and materials you need to get the job done. Ready to kickstart your next DIY project? Begin with Buco.
Buco. You're listening to Bridget Masinga on SAFM.
All right, as we get into our conversation, my producer trying to have a sidebar conversation. But anyway, the show must go on. Linda Shaw is in the building, who is an astrologer. And Linda joins me now to talk spirituality. And we are firstly going to get some context around Pluto and what is happening there. From what I understand, it's moved. It's gone into its 20-year cycle as of yesterday. I don't know, Linda. I mean, I don't know these things. How are you doing? You good?
Well, you know, I forgot you were the orderly type who kept time, and so I've rushed in here in a flurry. I'm sweating.
Oh, Askies.
I'm delighted to see you.
Thank you so much for coming through. And you come on a day when, you know, the elevators are doing the most. But
I believe so, yeah.
Let's
Anyway,
maximize on what we do have. Tell us about Pluto. So what's happening?
You see, the thing is, in astrology, we have a new age every 2,000 years. So we have been in the age of Pisces for 2,000 years until...
Oh, that's my age. I'm a Pisces.
So am I.
Lovely.
And so we're moving into the age of Aquarius. But all of the planets have slowly been moving through Aquarius. All of the planets move at different speeds.
Okay.
Pluto takes yonks to get around the solar system. It takes about 300 years. I mean, anyway, too boring. But the point is, Pluto, once Pluto moves into Aquarius, which is basically today and tomorrow, I mean, it's really exciting. This is the most exciting time to be alive.
Oh.
Then we have officially moved into the Aquarian age. When we were born, those people born in the Piscean age, which was basically all of us before about, 2000.
Yeah.
We were born in a sort of Christian system. We were born in an energy represented by the crucifixion of Christ. We were brought up to believe that self-sacrifice was the greatest honor.
Yes.
That, giving up your own needs for others or giving away your shirt for, whatever. People like that became victims over a period. We became used to the fact that we ourselves are worms and that we don't deserve anything ourselves, but we must sacrifice ourselves for the greater good. So we have become compassionate, wonderful people, but we are slightly victim-oriented in our heads. Yay, we are now moving into Aquarian age. I'm so excited, which is the golden age. It's the age that says rubbish. I want to know who you are. I want to know what you personally have to contribute to your world and to your life and to the society around you. What are your gifts? What are your talents? Let's maximize them. So the focus is on, firstly, the individual, but secondly, it's on communities.
Yes.
So it's all about who do you want to mingle with? Who's your soul group? Who's your tribe? Who are the people you identify with? So we're getting together in communities, and our old systems are breaking down. What Pluto did in Capricorn was break down old systems. So, for example, Pluto is responsible for things like leaders and politicians. So suddenly all of our politicians are hilarious.
Yes.
I mean, Donald Trump, Putin, you name it, they're all hilarious. So we've stopped taking our leaders seriously. In the Piscean age, we took them very seriously. We used to bow and scrape around all sorts of, royalty and presidents and all that. Now we just laugh. So now we've got to move into a whole new system of leadership. Now, what you've been reading about, the cardinal signs are the ones who are most affected. Capricorn, because Pluto, the cardinal signs are Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, and Libra.
Okay.
Those are the 4 signs that are most affected by the shift. And, don't think for one moment that anybody else is not affected, because we're all deeply affected by this. But for those 4 signs, the 4 cardinal signs, they've been given a bit of a break. They've had 20 years of, oh my God, when does it ever stop? And we're now moving into 16 years of now you're going to have a good time. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is fabulous. That doesn't apply to us particularly.
Yes.
And then where Pluto is moving now, it's moving into Aquarius. So we've got Aquarius, Leo, Taurus and Scorpio. Those are the 4 that are now going to be majorly affected by Pluto, but they're going to be affected in an Aquarian way. They're going to be affected in a way that says, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to make of your life now, you can transform everything about your life. You can make it magical. It's going to be extraordinary.
I mean, I'm hearing great things for other people, and I'm like, so for
what about me?
What about me, the Pisces? What happens to the Pisces born in the year of the chicken?
Is it the chicken? I thought it was the dragon.
Oh, no, I was born in the year of the rooster.
Oh, you were born in the year of the rooster?
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, that's
I'm a
fantastic.
chicken.
That's very powerful. That's powerful stuff. That puts you in front of a mic.
Oh,
yeah.
Lovely. Actually, you're the second astrologer to say such. So I take it very seriously.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
I was just going to say quickly, the other 4 signs, Gemini, Sag, Pisces, Virgo, we are the ones who are going to be making a fortune, in short.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I need to secure the bag. I'm going to hold you to it. You heard Linda saying that I'm going to be making the bag for the next couple of years. I love it. 061-410-4107 is our WhatsApp line, and 086-000-2032. I know we've got a short bit of time, so what I'm going to do is we're going to open up the lines to you now until Kids Corner, and then when Kids Corner is playing out, we're going to have that conversation between my producer and Linda to see what happens given Linda's time and schedule. After that, whether or not it allows for her to be able to stay for a couple more minutes, but we'll work it out. 061-410-4107 is our WhatsApp line. If you sent us a WhatsApp message with your date of birth as well as your star sign, or if you have given us a call on 086-000-2032. In fact, Linda, you tell us what do you want from our listeners?
What I would like from my listeners is a birth date and a question, preferably, and the question must not be what is my future, because my future is death.
Okay.
As we all know.
Okay, there you go. And a question that is not what is my future. Let's take a quick break and then we'll come back on the other side.
The National Pulse.
Have you got any?
Weekdays, 3 to 6 p.m. I
mean, a year ago, we would not be speaking about the MK. Well, they didn't exist. But even as late as about 2 months before the election, it's like, these guys are just noisemakers, right? They're not noisemakers anymore, aren't they?
No, absolutely not. And in fact, I've heard too many times since the election that the MK is just another Cope or another Gang. And those are just categorically untrue things. Just in terms of numbers, the MK has outperformed both of those parties extraordinarily. In terms of organizational plan, but the biggest thing that they have over Cope, and if you remember the Cope days well, Cope never actually had a deeply ideological message. Its entire premise was that it was a better ANC. And so it was going to embrace all of the things the ANC embraced, but it was just going to have better people.
Just a dooms.
You're listening to the National Pulse on SAFM. All podcasts can be downloaded on safm.co.za. The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga, Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m.
Yes, we are on. You know, we got some folks that sent us messages on WhatsApp because the intention was to call as many back as possible earlier on.
Okay.
So I don't know if maybe we can start with one or two on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Whilst we get some folks on the phone. Can we go to WhatsApp? It's just the WhatsApp is moving faster than I'm moving, and I'm one producer down today, which does not
just
help
give me a
our
birthday.
situation. Okay, so let's see. This is Mulifi Matsotsi. Mulifi is born on the 22nd of the 9th of 1977, and he wants to know about finances and career.
Malifi.
22nd of the 9th, 1977.
Well, to be born on the 22nd is already fabulous. It's a number that says you must have your own business and you must make a fortune and preferably buy property. You need to invest in property. Oh, you've got fantastic numbers. What are you moaning about? We should be phoning you for loans. Why haven't you got any money? This person is not paying attention, clearly.
Really?
Okay, so nevertheless, this is going to be... Am I using this?
Yes, don't worry.
Okay.
I can even take it down a notch for you.
Thank you. Oh dear, I'm a tech whiz. Okay, let me see. Okay, 2025 is going to be your year. That's right. This year you have hopefully been preparing, thinking about what business you want to switch to because it's your time to switch, it's your time to make a move. Next year, I would say after sort of July, we're going to start making a fortune. So you better be ready. Get a new outfit. Is Malefi a boy?
I think so, yes.
Okay, we want you in a suit, darling. And, aftershave. You've got to be looking smooth. And we're going, people are going to be impressed by you. You've got fantastic energies. What are you messing about with?
Ooh.
Obviously, you're doing the wrong. You should be involved in something with property, real estate, property, banking, perhaps, finances. Yeah.
Lovely.
If you're messing about with the wrong thing, then quickly change your career.
Oh, I love it. Let's also go to a WhatsApp voice note in the meantime while we line up the calls.
Okay. What is
Hello, Bridget. This is Tsepiso Mukwena. Date of birth is 01/11/78. And just to say that you are with one of my favorite persons in this entire world, and I've been following her work for many, many years. Thank you.
That would be you. Tsepiso didn't give us a question, but a date of birth.
Yes, nevertheless, well, the thing about Scorpios is that on the one hand, they want to know everything. They want all the information, but on the other hand, they're the most secretive people alive. They're so impossible to deal with. Whenever a Scorpio comes to see me, I start off by saying, listen, I'm not interested in your secrets and your privacy and any of that garbage.
Yes.
We must get it out in the open. Now, this person, I hope she's in something like theatre, communication. She's very powerful. And that whispery voice has got to stop because we want you bellow. We want you out there saying what you've got to say. You're a teacher. You're a leader. Yes. Oh, sure, but I just broke your chair.
Sorry.
And the other one.
It's okay. I think it was just the chair. Yeah, it was just the chair. Maybe you should give us some fortunes for SAFM. Some good fortunes. We'll take those. So Linda must, take up space.
Take up space. Take up space. This is a girl with a big voice, with a big message, with a lot to give the world.
Yes.
Enough of that shy hiding behind your I'm a private person garbage. No more of that. From April or May at the latest, I want you moving into something in which you are being heard. And this has been your problem until now. You're not feeling heard, and you're waiting for somebody to start listening to you. But what you have to do is first you start bellowing, then people start listening.
Ooh.
This is going to be a great year for you from April, May, I'd say.
Makes perfect sense. Let's go to our callers. Let's see, who do we have on the line right now? Brian, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, and you? How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you. Go ahead, Linda's standing by.
I just stumbled upon interview, and I was like, man, I've been really wanting to know, because I'm not really deep in astrology, but I've been seeing double numbers. They call it angel numbers.
Yes, they are angel numbers. If you're seeing
Every
11,
time I look at
if you're seeing 11, 22, and 44, it means you're on exactly the right track. 22 and 44 specifically are about finance. You're attracting abundance into your life. You just have to be very careful not to attract abundance of garbage or an abundance of misery. So you have to be very specific with the universe. I want an abundance of money. I want an abundance of adoration. The basic things.
Lovely.
What was your question? Sorry.
Yeah, so every time I look at the time, it's always double numbers, 14, 22, 22, 20, 20. So I've just been like in awe of that, not knowing exactly what it means for me.
Fantastic. Essentially what it means is that you're on the right track. You're moving in the right direction, and the angels are shoving you forward and saying, keep going, babe.
Oh, thank you for the reaffirmation.
Wonderful.
Have you started something new?
No, not really. I've just been doing the same thing over and over. So.
Well, really? What was the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing, expecting a different result?
So I guess it's time to try something crazy then, I guess.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
Awesome, Brian. Have a good afternoon. All right, we're moving on.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Where are we going to now? We're going to Lee? Lee, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks, and you?
Great, go ahead.
Okay, Linda, I'm 14/8/48.
Wow, okay.
And I'm, as you can see, I'm rather on the other side of life.
Long in the tooth.
Yeah. And I just sometimes feel there's something I should have done, and I believe it's not too late, because I would love to write, and why can't I write? Because I don't trust myself. So,
for goodness sake.
I know, and I missed my acting. I wanted to do acting, no confidence. So here I am in the middle of Leo. Yep.
Leos are supposed to have bulging confidence from every orifice. Wait a minute.
I have some, but not enough.
So what did you end up doing?
Nothing. No, healing.
Lucky hag. How fantastic.
No, I do a bit of healing because I'm quite psychic.
Yes.
But I do make people laugh a lot. I just talk a lot of nonsense.
That's brilliant. That's fantastic. Yeah, you're basically the teacher. So your energy is that of the teacher. So if you choose not to act or be in actual performance art, then healing is as good a way of passing on your energy and your wisdom. But I do think a bit of... the thing is, what we all need to do, and you particularly, because you are so gifted, is learn one of the spiritual languages, because then you've got a language with which to work. So if you're using astrology or tarot or...
tarot I do.
You see, tarot.
Yeah.
Fantastic. There. So that's where you speak, that's where you share. Essentially, what we're here for, amongst other things, is to offer our services as much as we possibly can to our people and to our communities, whatever. If you're healing and tarot, love it.
Because I just sometimes feel discombobulated. Where am I? Yeah.
No, look, whatever has been, it was exactly as it needed to be. Whatever is coming is exactly as it needs to be.
Great.
And you have to trust yourself, whatever decision you make. And those decisions that you make in the moment where you're panicking and thinking, oh my God, those are not good decisions. The decisions you make when you're in a peaceful space, when you're just sitting there thinking, I wonder if I should have my hair shaved. That's usually not a good idea.
Don't think I'll do that. But anyway, thank you so much. That's given me a lot of insight.
Wonderful.
Lee,
You're
Lee,
fabulous.
I feel like you found your spiritual animal in Linda, that's for sure. It's fast approaching 1:30. I'm going to negotiate with Linda on your behalf and negotiate with our other guest, Daniel, as
I
well
have
on
been
your
invited
behalf.
to lunch, It's getting a bit late.
And we'll see what happens. In the meantime, let's take the headline news and then we'll come back with the Kids Corner. Thank you, Bridget. News headlines at 2:30 on SAFM. The number of dead bodies found in Windmill Park near Dawn Park on Gauteng's East Rand has now risen to 5. Minister of Kokta, Velenkosini Tlhabisa, says the 21 days given by President Cyril Ramaphosa to have spaza shops registered is ample time, and a man has been sentenced to life imprisonment by the Cape Town Regional Court for trafficking an orphaned child from the Eastern Cape to the Western Cape and keeping her as his wife. A full update follows at the top of the hour.
Are you looking for the best spectacle and sunglass deal? With Specsavers buy one get one offer, you get great value for money. You know you can trust us with over 350 stores nationwide. Get a free pair of branded prescription sunglasses up to 3,200 Rand when you purchase a comprehensive eye test and spectacle frame with lenses on your first pair. Choose from top brands like Police, Hugo, Tommy Hilfiger, Carolina Herrera and more. There really is no reason to go anywhere else. Affordable eye care, Specsavers. T's and C's apply.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable for you. Whether it's a civil, criminal, or labor-related matter, we have a nationwide panel of attorneys standing by to assist you. SMS SAFM to 32195. That's SAFM to 32195 and we'll call you back. Clientele General is a licensed non-life insurer and an authorized FSP. Standard rates and terms and conditions apply.
MasterChef's salty voiceover guide to mispronunciation. Today's word, finale. Origin, Italian. Pronunciation, finale. Meaning the last part of a series, commonly mispronounced as
final.
As if you are discussing your matric results. Example.
I can't wait to see the final results of MasterChef.
If you insist on saying final, it's okay. Watch the grand finale of Final on November 23, 8:30 on S3. MasterChef, things are about to get salty.
The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga, Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. This program is brought to you by SABC Education, enriching minds, enriching lives.
SABC Education, in partnership with the Department of Health and Dilifa Labantwana, bring you the third episode of the side-by-side drama, Season 4, Episode 3, focused on something that every parent wonders about, nutrition for young children aged 1 to 5.
Say and say, side by side.
Thank you, grade 7s. Don't forget to do your homework. I'll be checking tomorrow morning. Do me. That means you.
Yes, babyface.
What was that?
Oh, nothing, Mr. Makwetu.
Imange, can I have a word with you?
Yes, Mr. Makwetu?
Imange, I must say, I'm very impressed with your work.
Oh, thank you, sir. And here I thought I was in trouble.
You will never be in trouble in my books. You're my favorite student.
Thank you, sir.
Let's just keep that between us. But that being said, if you need to go over anything, I'm here.
Thank you so much, sir.
Now that I've shared my little secret, it's your turn. Why do you kids call me babyface?
Oh, come on, sir. We don't.
I'm not deaf. It's okay. You can trust me. I won't tell anyone.
Okay. They call you babyface because you look handsome? Well, you're just too young to be a teacher.
And you? Do you also call me babyface? Do you think I'm also handsome? It's okay. I promise. I won't get angry or tell anyone.
Yes, sir. You look cool.
And you are a smart, beautiful young woman.
Thank you, sir.
Pass me that spanner, please. Sakomze.
You go for a step. What's wrong with the car?
Hey, man. I put it in diesel instead of petrol. Later, you haven't had supper yet. If your grandmother sees you eating that chocolate, you'll be in deep trouble.
But I will eat all of my food, Brasteps.
Listen, Brasteps, later, chocolates are for later. After you've had your food, just like Brasteps' car, take petrol and not diesel, your body must get right in nutrition.
Okay.
You've learned a lot, Sakums.
It is hard not to, being married to Joyce. Very happy, but I'm hoping for a son. You know, to carry on family name, play soccer with, that kind of stuff, you know.
What does Joyce say?
Well, we haven't really discussed it.
I think you need to have a talk with her first. Sagumzi, it's not about having a boy or a girl. It's about raising a child with love, giving them opportunities. Kids are a blessing, no matter their gender.
I get that. But I want a son, Brasteps. It's important to me. Joyce will come around to the idea, no? She has to, otherwise.
Sagumzi, man, how about you come around to handing me that number 15 spanner? Just there. Yeah.
Just a little off the sides, B.
Okay, Kola.
Oh, Kola! Oh, my cousin. Always the ladies' man, eh?
Hey, Mfethu, this weekend, I picked up a girl on Friday and a girl on Saturday.
Be careful of not picking up something else, Kola.
B, don't hit the player. When you've got it, you've got it. And the ladies love these muscles.
Hey, Ndwana, you basically live in the gym way, Nana?
You should come one day, Flashes. We can start you off on the smallest weights.
Oh, no thanks. I'll get my women another way by flashing this smile.
Paula, I hope you're being careful. You better be using a condom.
Mom Cindy, come on. I'm just enjoying my youth.
No gloves, no love, Paula. Don't forget that.
Oh, it's Juliet, my baby mama.
Hey, man. Paula. Hey, man. You better take that.
Hey, Juliet. Yes, I'll bring the yogurts for Ucebis. No problem.
How old is Telisa now, Paula?
She just turned 3. She's a daddy's little girl and the only girl who has my heart.
Hey, Kabisa should eat lots of meat so she can be as strong as you one day. We have one.
Hi, Flashes. Children between 1 and 5 need a balanced diet. They need foods like meat, liver, chicken, eggs, lentils, and beans for protein. Soft vegetables like mashed potato, sweet potato, pumpkin, and butternut. And soft fruits like mashed banana, pawpaw, or apple. It's not just about the protein, Flashes. They need a variety of foods for proper growth.
Yo. Yes, I didn't know all that, Mom Cindy. I want the best for Ucebis.
I don't eat rabbit food. Just give the baby meat, man. Hey.
And I eat a lot of veggies, yes?
You do.
It's about giving them the right start, Kola. A healthy child is a happy child.
And I've heard Ujuli complain that Ucebisa is a fussy eater, yes?
Remember, it's normal for children to reject new foods at first.
Yeah, man. Then give the kids something nice like what they sell at the food joint down the road.
Oh, Flashes. No. You must avoid fast foods and unhealthy snacks for the kids. Let children choose from healthy options rather.
Yes, Mom Cindy's right. And remember, Kola, take care of yourself too. Hey, have you been tested for HIV, Mar?
Mom B. Serious? With these muscles? I'm as fit and healthy as I can be.
Hey, Kola, It's not just about the muscles.
Hi, Bob, sweetie. Don't worry, ladies. That's not going to happen to me. Never one.
Thank you for listening to Side by Side, the drama that supports you to give your child the best possible start in life. Brought to you by the National Department of Health, Ilifa Labantwana, and the SABC Education. Join us again tomorrow as we sit down with an expert at 2:30 to further discuss nutrition for young children aged 1 to 5, right here on SAFM.
Say and say. Side by side.
This program was brought to you by SABC Education. Enriching minds, enriching lives.
Hey, I just stepped back into studio and I caught the last bits of a conversation between Linda and our camera operator today.
Isn't she delicious?
And he got his little private consultations. Good thing I stepped out. 061-410-4107 is our WhatsApp line, and 086-000-2032. Let's jump straight to WhatsApp.
Okie dokie. WhatsApp.
Yeah, we're going to jump straight into WhatsApp.
Okay.
Hello, Bridget. This is Tepiso Muku.
On a replay that
Hello, SAFM family. This is Lazarus Matao, date of birth 1991 0729. Thank you.
Do you think 0729 is February?
I think so. I think it is 1999, the
29.
29th.
Oh, I see,
Yes.
29, sorry.
29th.
Bit off.
0729.
Okay.
So 29th of July.
Oh, so he's a baby. 38. Oh, this is a very special person. He's come in to make a lot of money so that he can help. It's very difficult to make a difference in our world if we've got no money and no power. So there are people who have come to attract money or attract wealthy people and attract the powerful people or become a powerful person.
Mm-hmm.
So Lazarus, with the most fabulous name, I mean, who wouldn't want a name like that?
Yeah.
Is here to, resurrect the universe. But, of course, he does have one very boring problem which he has to get over immediately because he's still very young, so he's got a bit of time, and that is he's got incredibly low self-esteem. I think he's had a very difficult childhood, but, we've all had weird childhoods. We have to get over it and move on. Enough of this.
Yeah.
Go to therapy or slap yourself about the face or, get yourself moving. Lazarus, you have a very important future. Get off your ass, babe.
Oh, I love it. Let's jump to our callers. And who do we have on the line? Okay, we've got Solomon in Cape Town. Solomon, you say your question is around finances. Go ahead.
What's new?
Good afternoon, Bridget.
Yes, go ahead, brother.
Yes, I would like to ask, I'm born on 23 November 1988. I just want to know about my financial plan. What is it?
So you're a Sag, are you? Are you Sagittarius? Yeah. 23 November 1988. You see, the thing about Sagittarians is that Sagittarius is actually my favorite sign of them all because the Sagittarians are blessed by the angels. You're the kind of people, no matter what disaster you create for yourself, somehow you get bailed out. Somehow you get rescued. If you're falling off a mountain, there's somebody down there with a stretcher ready to carry you out. It's quite extraordinary. But the problem with that is that Sagittarians get very lazy and very, they take things for granted. They just assume everything's going to fall into their lap because it always has. So when you get to your sort of age and you start thinking, actually, maybe I better grow up a tiny weeny bit and start behaving myself.
Solomon, I feel like you're getting a low-key scolding here from Linda.
Very loving, very,
Linda.
affectionate. But Sagittarians are moving into a very groovy place with money. But, you are going to have to, as it were, what are those ghastly words? Take responsibility. I hate that expression. But that's the one for you. It's going to take you the whole of next year until about October to get your act together. But you're going to start moving from, I would say, April into a much better space. How's your finances now? Do you need a job? Is that... You walked away from your job, didn't you? Because you thought, I can find another one. Did you?
Exactly, that's how it is.
Sergis, honestly. I despair.
Wow.
I despair of you.
So, Solomon, you got a scolding from Linda. You got to
Yeah.
get your act together. But from October, things are looking up and up. But make sure that responsible is the word that you lead into 2025 with. Let's jump to, who is it? Lufuno. Let's jump to Lufuno in Durban. How are you?
I'm right in you.
I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay, you know, like what surprised me, like now I was born in 16 June 1983. And my name is Lufuno. And if you know Lufuno is the vendor name. It means love.
Ooh.
But then, like, I've got a problem with this love. I'm trying to. I just want to know about what is love holding for me in the next in future, actually.
Oh, wow.
I'm having a problem with that, the so-called love in my life. I've never been
so-called. So-called love.
No, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, but then I just want to know about what is love holding for me. Like, I just want to know about that.
Well, how's it going so far? Don't tell me that you've just had a horrible fight, have you?
Yes, you know, what surprised me on this day, I met someone, and then we never last even 2 months.
Shall I tell you why? Shall I tell you why?
Yeah.
I will. 16th of June. You're a Gemini, which means that you're a youthful, active, or action-oriented, wonderfully happy guy. But your moon energy, you see, when you say I'm Gemini, it means that the sun is in Gemini when you're born. But your moon energy is in Virgo. And the trouble with Virgo moon, is Virgo always wants to be right. And the thing is that people, and you are very, you're very caring and very sincere when you say, look, I'm just doing it for your own good. I'm just telling you that you're fat and ugly for your own good so that you can improve.
Yeah.
But people don't take it all that well. So you're going to have to look at how you address people, because actually you're very, very lovable. There is always, look, next year's not looking that fantastic. Wait a moment, we've got something happening after July, but that doesn't mean you have to be alone until July. I think you can practice your skills until July. What you have to do every time you meet somebody new is say something fabulous about them. Say you're looking amazing, or say, gosh, your hair is stunning. Or, I smelt your perfume from across the room, you smell amazing. Instead of those, I remember once somebody said, I need to get a new dress. And her father said, you need a marquee, not a dress. And I thought, who says that? So that's the kind of thing, you may not say. Are you following me?
Yeah, I follow.
Okay, great. Love is there for you.
All right, thank
Not
you.
Not so-called love, actual love.
Actual love. Thank you for the call, Lufuno. Let's wrap it up with Tembegile, because Linda does have a lunch date that she's now moved, that she has to get to, and we promise the lunch date will be done at 10 to. Tembegile in Queenstown.
Yes.
Go ahead, brother.
3103-1963.
Did you say 21?
31.
Oh, 1923, did you say?
63.
I was going to say, wow. And what is your question?
I'd like to ask about money myself.
Money, yes, indeed. Well, let me tell you something. You are born to make money, 63, but, you're getting a bit long in the tooth now. What's been happening with your money?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Look, you're an Aries, which means that you're completely hopeless with money. You throw it away on ridiculous things and think, never mind, I'll get some more. But so what we actually need, you're a powerful leader. We need you to be starting some sort of business on your own. You're very smart, very gifted. But the trouble with you is that you're impulsive. You dive into things and think, I'll look at the details later. And somebody says, let's start an emu farm. And you think, yeah, a good plan, which is maybe not such a good plan. So So you need to think about something that is maybe online, or start off very small where you can actually deliver products, or do something. You should be able to write. Are you any good at writing? Yes.
But try to write and keep them.
You try to write and what?
And keep everything.
So you write and you keep it to yourself?
And you keep... Yeah, brilliant.
Okay.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Hello? What do you think the internet is for? The internet is for every single one of us to have a voice.
Yes.
And if you are saying something, if you're putting something out into the world, you can guarantee there is somebody out there who wants to read it. The universe works that way. There's no point in you putting something out into the world if nobody's out there to read it. Somebody needs it. So instead of sitting there thinking, what will they think of it? Will it fail? Will nobody buy it? Blah, blah, blah. Just do it.
Okay.
You're going to make your money, pal.
Tembegile, it was the kick in the buttocks that you required. Thank you so much for the call. Linda, thank you so much for your wonderful energy and
So lovely to
the
see you.
burst of light. It's a beautiful way to wrap up the final stretch of the year. For anybody that wants to contact you directly for consultation, what's the most convenient way? Not your phone number. Where they can book consultations.
My website is linda@lindashaw.com. It's quite easy.
Lovely.
Linda@lindashaw.com.
Lovely.
I'm only giving my phone number to you.
No. We don't want to do that. Linda@lindashaw.com is where you can go to book your consultation with Linda. It's gone at 10 to 3 o'clock. We're going to take a quick pause.
Yes.
MasterChef's salty voiceover guide to mispronunciation. Today's word, finale. Origin, Italian. Pronunciation, finale. Meaning the last part of a series. Commonly mispronounced as
Final.
As if you are discussing your matric results. Example.
I can't wait to see the final results of MasterChef.
If you insist on saying final, it's okay. Watch the grand finale of final on November 23, 8:30 on S3. MasterChef, things are about to get salty.
The Northwest Provincial Legislature Standing Committee on Oversight of Northwest Provincial Legislature, chaired by Honorable Michael Groenewald, will be holding public hearings on the Public Service Amendment Bill 2023 and Public Administration Management Amendment Bill 2023 on the 23rd of November 2024 in the Northwest Legislature Auditorium in Mahikeng, Banquet Hall in Potchefstroom, Toulita Hall in Ganyesa, and Ben Marie Hall in Rustenburg at 10 in the morning.
The Market Update, Monday to Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m.
Want to stay ahead of the financial game? Join us tonight from 6 to 7 p.m. for an insightful journey through the day's market developments, financial updates, and investment news. Tune in for your daily dose of financial intelligence as we navigate the twists and turns of the financial landscape with expert insights. Only on the SAFM Market Update.
SAFM Market Update with Jimmy Muyaha. The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga. Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m.
All right, we are wrapping up the show in the final moments with Daniel Jordan. Daniel joins us now to talk about the annual Parkview Christmas Market. How are you doing today?
I'm good and you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for making the time. We appreciate it. Daniel, firstly, let me just get the proper pronunciation for the charity.
Yes, Nicarella Charity.
Nicarella. Lovely.
Yes.
So, of which you are the spokesperson. Appreciate that very, very much. Okay, let's talk about, how do we address all of these disparities that we are going through right now, of course, and how do events and charities like Nicarella plug in to what some might call a hopeless situation in SA?
Well, I wouldn't call it hopeless.
Yeah.
I think, anybody who watches the news or reads the newspapers, there's always a lot of bad news. But I think there's a lot of amazing organisations that are trying to make a difference. And Nicarella Charity just helps to be one of those. And in fact, you kind of tap into our vision, which is that we are trying to break cycles of poverty hopelessness and despair. And we're hoping that through the work that we do, we make a small difference in people's lives, and that those differences become bigger differences.
Mm-hmm. And maybe talk to us about, just exactly how you go about doing that through the work and the programs that Nicarella runs.
So there's 2 levels to it, right? So the first thing we need to do is to raise funds. And so Nicarella is run by a group of volunteers. All of us put of our own private time, so nobody, we don't have any full-time staff, and we primarily raise money through events. So we run the annual turkey competition in Johannesburg in July, and then of course our marquee event is coming up, and that's the Parkview Christmas Market, which runs from the 22nd to the 24th of November. But really it's event-based, and then the money that we raise through events, and that's the second part. We then line up projects with a number of charities, and so then we actually invest in these charities, and we help make a difference in their world.
Yeah, and I think NPOs that also rely a lot on community-focused funding models. It speaks a lot to the power of community and the power of galvanizing locals, to give and to be involved in causes that affect themselves, their neighborhoods, and broader society.
Yes, absolutely. In our case, it's an absolutely, it's been such a virtuous circle because the local community is involved, the local companies are involved. This year for the market, we've got Nedbank and Lexus as sponsors, so bigger corporates are getting involved. And then volunteers, I cannot tell you the amount of goodwill from community members and even our Parkview Residents Association and our team. I mean, the team has been working tirelessly to organize these events. And those things are not possible unless you can get behind the projects and the work that you do as a charity.
Absolutely. Now, I know that the Parkview Christmas Market is coming up. Give us some details around that. It's opening on the 22nd of November. It's this coming weekend.
It's this Friday. In our opinion, which is maybe a little bit biased, we think this is the best thing to do in Johannesburg this weekend. So our doors open at 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon, and then we go all night. Not all night. We run until about 10 on Friday. We run from 10 in the morning to 10 at night on Saturday, and then from 10 to 4 on Sunday. And really, the whole family is welcome. We've got something for everyone.
Entice us a bit and also give us the pertinent details of whereabout in Parkview does the Christmas market happen.
So as we've done for 15 years now, we're in George Hay Park, so that's very easy to find on Google Maps. And I'm going to leave the best parts for last, but to give you a couple of ideas, we've got a kids zone this year, which I didn't think we could do better than last year, but we actually have some amazing stuff for kids. So families, please come. There's something for all ages. We've got a Saturday night movie lined up. We also we lined up for the rugby, so we've got some facilities for people to watch the rugby. We've got double the size tent that we had last year, so there's shade for the sun and cover for the rain. We've got amazing food stalls this year, but the most important thing this year for me is that our charities that we are supporting are going to be there as well. So they're going to be exhibiting, they're going to be volunteering. And so not only can you come and have a lot of fun, but you can actually come and see firsthand the work that we do and interact with the people that we're supporting.
Wonderful. All things that we love to hear about. So this Friday, the market opens, the Parkview Christmas Market at the George Hay Park. And there is a minimal charge to you. Entries 50 Rand for adults and 30 Rand for pensioners. And of course, children under 12 come in free. It's a good evening, afternoon out for the entire family, all in the name of a good cause. Daniel Jordan, thank you so much for the time today. He is the spokesperson for the Nicarella charity, and of course they power the Parkview Christmas Market, which has been happening, as you heard now, for the last 15 years at the George Hay Park. So let's get together and have some clean, wholesome family fun ahead of the festive season. If we didn't get around to calling you today and calling you back, we apologize. We only had so much time for Linda, and as you heard, she likes to engage with everybody and really just get to know you before giving you a little glimpse as to what your present and your future holds. Ashraf is standing by, but first we're going to get into the news, and then we'll see you tomorrow. Inshallah, God willing, we get to do it again.
Thank you, Bridget. Top stories at 3. The number of bodies found in Dawn Park rises to 5 and court